Welcome everyone, this is episode number 11 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com or MySpace or YouTube. Thank you very much once again everybody that watched the show last time. We got a lot of hits again. I can't explain the success of this show, but I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. I just gotta say before we start, it's about damn time he got a magazine cover right there. Mr. Kennedy, baby. There you go. Mr. Kennedy on the cover of the new WWE magazine. It's about damn time. That's all I gotta say about that. He should have been on the cover a long time ago, just my opinion. But he's the man. Mr. Kennedy's going to be the next superstar in WWE. I've said that more than once on this show, and I firmly believe it. Yes, he's suspended right now, but whatever. You know, shit happens. So, he's still going to be the man. Let's get to your questions. A lot of people ask me about Hornswoggle being the bastard son. I'm just going to address that real quick. I think it was a rewrite. I think the original plan was to have Kennedy be the bastard son. Kennedy. But, I think they had to rewrite it because people figured it out. They had to go, oh man, they can't have fans figure this out, we gotta do something else. But I think that with Kennedy getting suspended also, that kind of coincided with the fact they need to rewrite it anyway. I think Hornswoggle was a good choice. I think that they're going to give Hornswoggle a really big push and have the Cruiserweight title mean more, hopefully. If they do have him get a big push, but I don't think it'll be anything long-term, unfortunately. I think the Cruiserweight Championship was kind of a joke with him as the champion, and I think that, you know, as I mentioned before, Hornswoggle's, you know, days as a main eventer are going to be limited if they do have any at all. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But for right now, I'm loving the entertainment part of it just because Vince is just getting so pissed off and so frustrated with the whole thing. It's hysterical. So we'll see what happens with Hornswoggle. First one is from Mohammed Ripan. TNA and WWE are both on TV, but how do I get Noah, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and other indies besides watching clips on the internet? Highspots.com is your place to go, I think, for indie clips and indie shows on DVD. They have pretty much anything you could want. They have a lot of PWG events, which is the local federation out here, a great company. They have a lot of Ring of Honor DVDs, I believe. I'm not entirely sure about that. RFvideo.com is also another place to go for indies DVDs as far as Ring of Honor goes. But you can get a lot of Japanese stuff on High Spots too, if I remember right. And check out the individual promotion websites and see what they have to offer for you. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get a whole lot of indie stuff on TV anymore. But the next question from Josh Salas actually asks about the National Wrestling Alliance. It's been said the NWA will return to national TV this fall. The programming will be on the Colors Network on DirecTV. Or maybe it's Dish Network, I don't know. Do you think it will be competition for TNA and WWE? No, because it's only on satellite TV. You can get WWE and TNA on regular broadcast television. You can get it on satellite. You can get it anywhere. NWA is only being available on the satellite programming. So I really don't think that it's going to be competition per se, because it's probably not going to have the best time slot either. Unfortunately, you're probably going to see them. You know, have a moderate success with the National Wrestling Alliance television on the Colors Network, but it's not going to be a direct competition for either TNA or WWE. Sean Connell, what are your thoughts on Armando Estrada being the general manager on ECW? I'm kind of surprised by it, but I guess it's something for him to do, right? I think that it's good for him because it gets his name out there, it gets his, you know, face out there on the TV every week without having to manage Umaga anymore, because they were pushing toward Umaga being a babyface, but they kind of pulled back from that and had him destroy Jeff Hardy before he got suspended. So I don't know where they're going with this with Umaga, but I think Umaga's going to be better off on his own, and I think Armando needed something to do. They needed a GM for ECW. They kind of put two and two together and came up with 5, I think. I really do. I don't know if it's the best fit for Armando, but whatever works for them right now, I guess, you know. This is from Bill Green. What do you think of tattoos on wrestlers, and which ones are your favorite? Also, do you think visible tattoos on some wrestlers can hurt their opportunities with certain companies? Tattoos, I don't think will hurt a wrestler, per se, because, you know, tattoos are viewed as cool, and, you know, they're the hip thing to do. As far as my favorite wrestler tattoos, I like the big thing that Brock Lesnar had on his back. I like the thing that Batista has on his back. God, who else has tattoos? I I liked Earthquakes, the big one on his arm. I like The Rock's Brahma Bull. I like Shawn Michaels' little heartbreak tattoo on his arm. That's pretty much it. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of tattoos in general, but as far as wrestlers go, that's pretty much what I like. This is from Dan Ace. If Eric Bischoff or Paul Heyman were to join TNA, do you think either of them could turn things around and prove to be a beneficial factor to the company? Well, Paul Heyman's contract with WWE recently expired, and as a matter of fact, it expired this month, September. So he could possibly go to TNA. We'll see. Bischoff is very happy doing what he's doing right now, and doing the Hollywood scene, and living in Phoenix, and not having to travel every week, and so I don't think you'll see Bischoff join TNA. Paul Heyman could join TNA, and if he is allowed to have a little bit of reign over TNA, he may be able to turn the company around. Who knows? But TNA is doing, I think, just fine on its own right now. I think TNA is starting to move toward better things. They have the 2-hour. They announced at No Surrender. They're having a 2-hour show starting next month, actually, and it could be the big things for them. They've got new champions. They got Pac-Man Jones, who's a champion, but he can't know how to wrestle, which could be interesting for them. They got Black Machismo Jay Lethal as the X Division champion, and they've got Kurt Angle as a world champion. You can't ask for much better than that. This is from Tyler from Pasadena, Texas. I was wondering if Matt Cappotelli, the former OVW champion, is going to get a run with the WWE after his brain cancer, or is he done with wrestling? I think he deserves a shot at least. He's a great guy. That's a good question. I really don't know what the status is of Matt Cappotelli. For those of you who don't remember, he was the winner of Tough Enough along with Johnny Nitro. They won Tough Enough 3 together. But he developed a really bad brain tumor and had to have surgery to have it removed. I don't know if he's going to come back. I don't know if we're going to see him back. If he does come back, he can get a run with WWE. He won't be, I don't think, a world champion in WWE like he was in OVW, or heavyweight champion, excuse me, like he was in OVW. But I think he may have a Cruiserweight Championship run, maybe, or as a secondary title, like the Intercontinental, the U.S. title. I don't think you'll see him be a world champion in WWE by any means. This is from Dennis Figueroa. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the Masterpiece Chris Masters. Also, how long this Masterpiece gimmick will last. I like Masters. I think the gimmick's a little worn out. I think his time is done. How far can you go with this gimmick? I mean, nobody's ever broken the match lock. Well, somebody did, and now what do you do? I think they built that so far up that when Bobby Lashley finally broke the master lock before WrestleMania last year, or this year, excuse me, they kind of built it up to the point where there's no return. There's there's nothing left for him to do now. So I think that when he does come back, if he does come back, I guess he's on suspension. He's one of the guys who got suspended. He won't last too much longer, I don't think. I think they need to unfortunately release him because there's not much for the Masterpiece left to do. This is from Joe Mansman. I would like to know your thoughts on the Divas Search competition. Why even have it if the women who don't win get a contract anyway? That's a good question. I really don't know. I mean, the Divas Search competition has proven to produce some very hot women, don't get me wrong, but most of them get hired and then they kind of just, fade off. You still got girls like Michelle McCool who's still around. You got Candice who's a women's champion who's in the Diva Search. You got Maria who's still around. Ashley who's on Survivor right now and she's going to be around. She won the Diva Search. Layla won the Diva Search. Who else is in the Diva Search that's still with the company? I think that's it, to my knowledge. And then you got girls like Tori and Victoria who've been around for a while. And Crystal was part of the Diva Search too. And her wedding was apparently a big fiasco. Watch it on SmackDown if you haven't watched SmackDown already. Funnier than hell. Excuse me. But they do tend to hire the girls even though they don't win the competition because they apparently feel they need more divas. I think they're doing okay with the girls they have right now. I don't think they need to hire any more people as far as the women's division is concerned. I think they need to just let it be and let it run its course and let it see what happens. So I don't know why you bother having the Divas Search competition. It's a very good question though. You can go to WWE.com for that stuff too. Check out what they're doing with that. It's from Jamie Hobbs. This message is coming from an old school XMV fan. Thank you. I just wanted to say it's great to see you back in front of the camera. You always give good, legitimate answers. With the rumors of the Hart Foundation coming in, I'm just wondering if you have seen any tapes of Harry Smith, TJ Wilson, or Natty Neidhart, and what your thoughts on them are. Well, actually, the new Hart Foundation is Harry Smith, Teddy Hart, and Natty Neidhart right now. TJ Wilson has kind of been pushed off to the side. I haven't seen too much of Harry, Natty, or any other Hart Foundation members. I have seen Teddy Hart live. I saw him at a show in the City of Industry, about 2.5, 3 years ago, I'd say now. And he's crazy. He's absolutely a phenomenal wrestler, but he's nuts. He does stuff I've never even dreamed of. He was, getting into, fights with the fans on the ring, at the ringside. He was, diving off the ring, diving off the staging. He's crazy. But it's awesome. I expect big things from the Hart Foundation when they're brought up to the main roster, if and when they are. They could be really, really cool. This is from Total Chaos 921 at AOL.com. What would you think it would do the TNA rating if they went to the more hardcore side and got a hardcore title? They even have the people such as Abyss, Raven, AJ, Fallen Angel, Rhino, even Bubba Ray or Devon that could make it great. The Hardcore Championship had its niche in WWE for a long time, for about 4 years, but the Hardcore title is a thing of the past. The Hardcore Championship does not need to be resurrected in any company. They don't need to have a Hardcore Championship to make TNA successful. They've got enough championships, and they don't know what to do with them. There's still rumors that they're going to fade out of the X Division. They're going to push the X Division Championship aside, which I think is a serious mistake. But having another championship brought in would be really, really stupid. If they're going to bring a championship back to anywhere, bring the Hardcore title back, bring it back to ECW and have it be their secondary title, and have hardcore rule matches. But, that's not going to happen. Travis, I dig watching the new ECW lately just because it's gotten a little bit better, but I have enjoyed watching some of the originals getting TV time, like Balls, Stevie, and Dreamer, but many have left. What do you see of the ECW's original future in the WWE? Well, Sandman got released. Sandman, unfortunately, got his release last week, or maybe a week and a half ago now, and it was really sad to see him go, because Sandman was, one of the cool guys left in the WWE. That hadn't really gotten a big chance yet. And, moving him to Raw was a big mistake. Moving him to Raw was one of the stupidest things they could have ever done. And they did it. And he belonged in ECW. Sandman was an ECW original. He fit in well with the ECW product. He fit in well with the ECW fan base. The people that were still watching ECW from the old days were like, oh, cool, Sandman's still here. And Dreamer's still here. And Stevie. And Balls. And, Nunzio. They're all still here. That's cool. But I think having him go to Raw was the beginning of the end for him. I think it was very, very stupid, and hopefully he'll find bookings elsewhere, because I love the Sandman. I've always liked that character. This is from Eric. How do you think it will ruin John Morrison's chance as an ECW main eventer now that he's been suspended? I thought the character would be garbage, but it seemed to be working pretty well. Yeah, it was working out pretty well for him. Unfortunately, he went and got himself suspended for being involved with the Signature Pharmacy situation. His mistake completely. I think that, we'll have to wait and see what happens when he comes back. He could be a main event slot again. He could be in a main event situation again. But for right now, they're going to go with Punk, and rightfully so. Punk has been deserving of this for a long time. Punk has been there with ECW from the beginning through the bad times and the worst times with them. And, he's a credible ECW champion. He had a great match with Elijah Burke at Unforgiven. And hopefully they'll lead to more things with him. But Morrison's chances are pretty good as long as he comes back and keeps his head on straight. Mike Rodano pretty much goes on a little rant here about Randy Orton. I'm just going to show you how long it was, from right here to right here. Talking about that Randy Orton's the best wrestler alive today. He's done all these things. He's beaten all these people. He's beat Undertaker, Michaels, Foley, Benoit, Triple H, Ric Flair, Batista, RVD, Rock, Jericho, 2 Battle Royal victories, Mysterio, Kurt Angle. Yeah, he is one of the best. Unfortunately, he's also proven to be a jerk. He's also proven to be a flake. He's also proven to be an unreliable person with a company. And, the fact that he got away with being involved with the Signature Pharmacy thing is ridiculous to me. I think he should have been suspended like everybody else, regardless of his spot at the time. I think that he deserved to get the full suspension, the full 60 days, instead of just a little slap in the wrist saying, that's a bad Randy. You know, that was really stupid. I think they should have suspended him and, you know, gone with somebody else and worked the storyline out, you know. They did it for everybody else. Why can't they do it for Orton, you know? This is from Timothy Koskuba. Hey, Jeff, what is your favorite TNA DVD? I have quite a few. 50 Greatest Moments, Bound for Glory, 05, The Best of X Division Volume 2, and Best of Bloodiest Brawls. I'm looking to add more to the collection. Which one should I get? Well, I've only seen one TNA DVD to date, and that, well, actually, I've seen two. The Best of AJ Styles Volume 1 and The Best of AJ Styles Volume 2. I bought those both for my ex, and I watched them. I liked them. I think they're both really, really good, but TNA, you know, I haven't seen a lot of TNA DVDs. I recommend any of their pay-per-views. Their pay-per-views are always good, or most of them are always good. The 50 Greatest Moments one's a good one. If you don't know the history of TNA, you want to catch up. That's always cool. The Best of the Bloodiest Brawls. I'm not into the bloody brawls, really, with TNA, because, you know, they kind of went over the top for me. I want to get Abyss's DVD to see how they did with that. I want to get Christian Cage's DVD when it comes out. I want to get Samoa Joe's DVD. I want to get... I have Daniel's DVD. That's pretty good, too. I actually seen that one. That's actually pretty good. But there's a few that are really, really good. There's a few that aren't so good. You just have to check them out for yourself. Joseph Souder. I was wondering what your thoughts are on Stevie Richards. Personally think with the right push, he has the talent look to be a main event star in WWE. I mean, look at the heel heat he got during the ring, right to censor days. Yeah. Stevie... has a chance to be a main event star in ECW. I don't know about Raw or SmackDown, but, you know, at one point he was one of the top heels in the company. But that was back in 2000, 2001. You know, that time is over. You know, he's not right to censor anymore. He's just plain old Stevie Richards again. I think Stevie will be a great ECW superstar for the next few years if they keep ECW around that long. I think if ECW goes away, you'll see Stevie Richards go away. I really do. I think if ECW is dissolved and put on the shelf, you'll see Stevie Richards be released, unfortunately, or be pushed in the company in some other way, like as far as a road agent or whatever. But you won't see Stevie get a main event push on Raw or SmackDown ever again, unfortunately. Just my opinion. Josh Reynolds, what do you think about the spoiler sites? Do you think it ruins the fun of watching wrestling? The best way to avoid that is to not go to those websites. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you don't want to read spoilers about SmackDown or ECW or the Raw tapings that they tape Raw or Impact, don't read those results. Read the rest of the news. Read the rest of the stuff that's on NoDQ.com or on The Observer or on, you know, PW Torch or, you know, whatever other website you go to. PW Insider. You know, if you don't want to read the spoilers, don't read the actual spoilers that say spoilers on them. Most of them say spoilers. You know, SmackDown tapings here, or spoilers, ECW tapings here. Don't read those. Just go to the news part of it. Just go to the rest of the page. I don't think it ruins the fun of it because I don't let it. You know, if I want to know what's happening in wrestling and I, you know, happen to not be able to watch SmackDown that week or watch ECW that week and I need to find out what's going on, I read those and it makes it better for me. That way I can check it out. If my VCR doesn't work or, you know, I have to not tape it for whatever reason, I can read the spoilers and everything's cool. So I don't think it ruins it at all. This is from Richard Bernier. Do you think the Paul London, Brian Kendrick versus David Taylor, William Regal versus the Hardys versus Eminem for the WWE Tag Team titles in Armageddon 2006 was the greatest ladder match in WWE history? The greatest ladder match in WWE history was probably the original one on pay-per-view. Scott Hall versus Shawn Michaels. Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 10. Or the rematch of SummerSlam 95. That was really good, too. The one in Armageddon last year was okay. I don't think it was the best one ever, just because of, you know, all the crazy stuff that was going on. It was a really good match, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was the best ever. As far as that goes, I recommend you check out that match yourself and see what you think of it. But I thought it was okay, but it wasn't the best ladder match in WWE history. There have been several better ones. You had the ladder match at WrestleMania 2000, the triangle ladder match between the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Christian. You had TLC 1 from SummerSlam 2000, TLC 2 from WrestleMania 17, TLC 3, which I saw at SmackDown, TLC 4, which is kind of a clusterfuck. I don't recommend that one. But there's been a ton of good ladder matches that have been better than that match. Alex Sokolov, do you think that Dave Batista's days in the wrestling profession are numbered due to his age? He is in great shape, but the years eventually catch up to you, so what do you think? I don't think Batista's done by any means. I don't think Batista's time has come yet. I think Batista still has a lot of longevity left in him. I think that Batista has a potential to be a main eventer for the next few years, hopefully. He's a world champion again. We saw it in Unforgiven. And hopefully he'll be world champion for a while. He deserves a good run, I think. Yeah, he was champion for a while, but who are you going to put the belt on? You know, the Great Khali proved that he was not a popular champion. They don't want any part of him being champion anymore, hopefully. So we'll see what happens there. But Batista's not done yet by any means. He may be a little bit older, but he's also a little bit wiser. Just want to go over the quick No Surrender results. Since we've been on the air last, No Surrender went down, and new tag team champions, Team Pac-Man, Pac-Man Jones and Ron Killings. Black Machines of Lethal won the X Division title. Kurt Angle's still the world champion. AJ and Tomko are number one contenders for the world tag team titles in TNA. Rhino came back and beat the crap out of James Storm. Christian Cage defeated Samoa Joe by DQ, and now they brought in Junior Fatu to feud with Christian, so it should be interesting there. Unforgiven, of course. CM Punk retained, Matt Hardy MVP retained, Candice retained, Batista won the world title, Cade Murdoch retained, John Cena retained because he lost by disqualification, and Undertaker returned with a big victory over Mark Henry. And so pay-per-views, from what I heard, Unforgiven was really, really bad. No Surrender was okay, but I heard Unforgiven was really, really bad. I'm glad I didn't order it. But I heard it was one of the worst pay-per-views of the year. So unfortunately, WWE's not doing good on pay-per-view lately. So we'll see what happens there. I also have a big announcement for those of you that watch Talk Wrestling on a regular basis. Thanks to our fan Johnny Murdoch, along with his girlfriend Erica Silsby, it appears that yours truly is going to WrestleMania 24 in Orlando. I'm going to be part of the Midday Madness event on Friday the 28th, the Hall of Fame ceremony on the 29th, and the WrestleMania itself on Sunday, March 30th. Now, details aren't really confirmed yet. I haven't really made sure I'm going yet. But if I do go, I'll be sure to bring a picture camera. I'll try to get a video camera to go with me if I can. We're going to try to get some stuff filmed there, hopefully, for you guys, so you can see WrestleMania weekend live and up close. And we'll see what happens there. And again, thank you very much, everybody that watched this week. Next week, we're going to be on hiatus for a week. I'm going to be in D.C. for a week. So, thank you to those of you that watched the show this week. Next week, we'll be preempted by No DQ TV reruns or something. I don't know what Aaron's going to put up. We'll have to just wait and see. But for right now, this is number 11 of Talk Wrestling, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.